Hi, my name's Rick Sigmund, and if you're here, it's because you signed up for this course, and I made this for moms, dads, and families everywhere because this is the number one point of concern that you guys have told me that you have for your home and your kiddos. Let's dive in immediately. This is the Digital Discernment Crash Course. I don't know if that's a good name, but that's what I named it because I'm a bit of a knuckle dragger. And this is a deep dive into not every aspect, because I can't get all of them. I don't know, but we are going to cover a ton of things, okay? And so, welcome. This is Module 1. Module 1 is understanding the battlefield and securing your home's gates, okay? Part 1. Wake up call, mindset reset. And this is for you. This is targeted at moms and dads. And yes, I encourage you, watch this on your own, watch this with your spouse, bring them in. This is for you to be extremely proactive and have a conversation. If you're getting this course, I have already released and emailed you the worksheets to go along with this course. Each worksheet is numbered per lesson. This is worksheet lesson 1, okay? And feel free to pause, back up, re-listen, follow along because it's a lot of information we're going to cover here. We're talking first about parent mindset and ideology, and I feel like I have to cover parental mindset, emotions, and things that we carry with us every day because the digital world, these phones that we use and are good tools, they're helpful, they can do good things, they absolutely can affect us if we put too much focus, time, and energy into what we're looking at and observing on those screens. What does this have to do with anything? Well, everything, because what we think about, look at, and do transcends into our children. I'm going to be looking at notes a lot, forgive me, because if we're anxious, they can become anxious. If we have weird views on what successes are, they will have weird views on what successes are. If we over focus on failure, they too will be affected and over focus on failure. What we see as good, they will see as good. What we portray as bad, they also will carry with them and portray as bad. But a lot of the time, what children and adults are looking for online, oddly enough, is connection. Interesting. Today's mothers, fathers, and children are being disciplined by algorithms more than they are their parents and their upbringing. I'm talking to us as well as children. The culture of your home, especially what moms and dads model with our devices, sets the tone for what your children will believe is acceptable and normal and good. Here's some of the fears that I have regularly heard from moms and dads like you. I didn't realize they were copying me. I thought I was being present, but I'm always checking my phone after I think about it. I feel like I've already messed up and I cannot fix this situation. Okay? Not true, moms and dads. I'm going to say a word about a concept that a lot of people have also thrown out to me every time these things come up. Am I doing too much for my kids? Am I doing too little for my kids? And what's a common term we all hear from time to time? I do not want to be a helicopter parent. Are you? Huh. Well, let's define terms because definitions mean things. Words mean things. Here's what a helicopter parent is not. A helicopter parent is not a present parent. A helicopter parent is an anxious parent. I heard that from a psychologist that was being interviewed this week, and it so helped me out in my thinking. Present parents are not the problem. Anxious parents, overly emotional parents are. My wife is saying this all the time to our children, and it's something we repeat in our house sometimes daily. Be in control of your emotions. Are we telling our kids to suppress our emotions? No, absolutely not. But being in control is a different concept. We look around our society and the world we live in, and far too many people of all generations have zero control over their emotions, or very little at least. Okay? And this is what our culture is pushing, and this is what our culture has also become. This course is part of taking your home back for you and your family's future. So, what are some solutions that we can talk about? Okay, here's what this first lesson is about. It's about identifying some problems, looking at ourselves to see, am I part of the problem? Are some of the habits that I am modeling for my children, are they rubbing off on them? Are they picking things up? Or am I simply unaware to the point where my children are just doing whatever they are doing in order to find connection in other places? Home needs to be the number one place for connection. I tell my children all the time, other than our relationship with God, which is first and foremost, the relationship with our family is of utmost importance in our house. I want the same for you. Is it perfect in my house? No, no, we're crazy and nuts just like you are. Everything is just like that in my home as well. But it's something that we work on proactively. It's a conversation that my wife and I and our kids continue to have. Incessantly and constantly? No, because we're here to live life. But when things come up, they need address. Sometimes we need to review how things have gone. I've talked about this before. Have a weekly review. What went well? What did not go so well? What do we need to think about and work on? That is good and appropriate, right? So solutions. Some solutions to talk about start with us, moms and dads, and then move on with our children from here. What is the actual culture in your home, and what habits have you created and are you continuing to create? What do we model? Do we model intentional tech use? As in, we do not have cell phones at the table. We do have screen-free times, like having a Sabbath, having a day that we say, nope, not today. We're not pursuing this. We're not going to turn this on. We're not going to divert our attention to these things. Have you written a short family mission around this? I like family mission statements in general. I've talked about it previously. This is a great place to look at that. What is your goal for your family? And screen time tech use is part of this. In our home, devices are tools, not our masters. And so on this, I'm going to tell a couple stories right off the bat. Why? Because this is the start of the whole thing, and this is an appropriate place to talk about these things. I'm a kid of Generation X. We grew up with a family. I will not name names to protect the innocent, but we grew up with families who chose to not have, in our day, it was television. Television was the big thing. You know, your kids are watching too much TV. They're glued to the tube. I remember this family coming over there to our home because they absolutely did not have a television in their home. And on one hand, I can see the benefits of that. On the other hand, which is what we're going to talk about, the results are the results. They would come over, and did we have the TV on all the time in our house? No, we did not. But in the afternoon, it came on for about an hour or so. When this family came over, all of their kids would sit in our living room and they would look like this the whole time. You could try to get their attention. You could try to go outside and play with them. You could try to get them to talk to you. You could try to get them to play a game with you. And it was not going to happen because they were absolutely and completely sucked into the TV because they did not know how to handle it. They did not have the ability or capabilities mentally, spiritually, any way you could slice this pie to handle well a TV being in their presence. They were absolutely glued to that. Comma hyphen, let's bring it forward to today. We also know people who, in the same mindset and venue, have allowed not just no TV in their home, absolutely no devices. Yet, some of these families have children that have grown up and reached adult age, and that's the age where they do not have to do what mom and dad say to do legally. These children have, this is anecdotal, and I am wrapping several stories up into this. These children have obtained devices, be it an iPad or a phone or a computer or laptop. And the end story is they've completely lost themselves. Boys, girls, young men, young women, they have dived off the cliff into pornography. They have dived off the cliff into uncontrollable gaming and habits that are just not good for anyone. And again, it's because they did not have the tools to begin with to properly put these things in their place and understand what they were looking at and dealing with. Are all devices bad, evil, and just detrimental? No. Like a knife, they are a tool. A tool is exactly how we use that tool. It can be good, it can be used for bad. It is simply that. I think as moms and dads living in the world we do today, it is our responsibility to put things in their proper place. In our home, we focus far more on reading and family time and learning and fellowship and being outside and doing things and gardening and whatever, okay? That's what we focus on. Each family is different. Your family should not be like mine. That would be weird. But we don't focus solely on devices, but do we allow device use in our home with our presence? Yes, we do. We put it in their place. It is limited, and it is very controlled. We are there with them. We are teaching them not just how to use these devices, but when things come up, because they do, weird commercials come up. For example, we were watching The Chosen on Amazon Prime. Take your pick of movie. I don't care. If you don't have a certain level of Amazon membership, you get commercials, and commercials suck. Okay. And they're just weird and bizarre today because we don't have regular television in our house. We don't watch these things all the time. And man, commercials are flat out inappropriate nowadays. I'm not going to go into what we see, but we definitely, we now have the ability to have proactive conversations with our children about what they see. Is it ideal? No. Is it a teachable moment? Sure is. So we teach. Do we avoid things like the plague and create bubble children? No, because then your kids are not able or ready to do anything as they grow up. Okay? So this course is not anathema to technology and devices. It's putting it in its place, and it's giving you, moms and dads, the capability, the awareness, the mindset, and the proactive tools to actually take control of these things, control what comes in your home, and do something about it, to proactively have the conversation with not just your spouse, but your children, so that they grow up understanding the potential threats that are out there, how it can be detrimental to them, what the agendas are of these things that do actually target them. Because yes, you need to raise your children where they understand that agendas exist, and sometimes they are the target. So, this is the end of lesson 1. Do not allow your family to be ignorant and just simply become a mindless target.